Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. Chopped Cheese out now. Bankroll Buna in the building. What up?
What up, baby? Do.
I was a little nervous. No, guys, say what you gonna say?
No, I'll be coming, man. G-Way, big woo shit. You know I'll be rolling, man. We about to go crazy.
I was a little worried about saying your name wrong before you got here because I was like, I look, because when you sat down, I was like, yo, so how often do people say your name wrong? And you was like, yo, bro, all the time.
Yeah, hell yeah. They always getting it mixed up. But it's Buna, Bankroll Buna. Not Buna, Burner, whatever, all that.
Buna.
Buna, yeah.
Like, Buna, y'all. He gave it to you right here. So whoever's watching this interview later for research on him, for his next interview, Bankroll Buna.
Bankroll Buna.
How you been, bro? How's life? How's everything?
Shit, life great. Everything going up. You know, I can't complain at all, man.
It's crazy because you touched my radar, no pun intended, over the summertime. And when my homegirl, Franny, when she hit me, she's like, oh, I got this artist, Bankroll Buna, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, I know him. Bring him to the show. And now we here.
Yeah, that's how life works. Like, word. I'm glad I touched this shit like in the beginning of the summer though, 'cause that's crazy. That's, you know, that's a blessing. I hear that. Word.
Yeah, because I was seeing it on my grid. I was seeing it on YouTube, and I was like, man, this dude really going up right now. So I'm happy that, you know, we made it here, and I'm happy that this new EP is or this new project is touching the people. I saw you. So with this project, what do you hope for this project? What do you hope that the people get away from it now that it's touched down? People have it. Like, what is kind of your hopes and desires for it?
Just to like let them know that I'm here to stay. You know what I mean? Like this shit ain't no game. I'm just showing my talent, creativity through this project and shit. So I want them to grasp that and learn that drill music is not just the back and forth beefing. It's more like me telling my story. You know?
Word. Because even on your IG, so I pulled this up, you called it The Influence, Chapter 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you calling it this? Like, why are you calling it The Influence? Why is this Chapter 1? Like, is this like a new chapter of your life and career? Like, what's kind of going on with that?
Yeah, it's definitely a new chapter. And and from through my music, from, you know, my past drops and shit, like especially Afghanistan, you know, like it really was a big influence on a lot of my peers and people that I don't even know, you feel me? So niggas just start calling me The Influence. You know what I mean?
Is that where you kind of started calling yourself the king of the drill shit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of that. That's what made me start, yeah.
Why do you feel like you're the king of the drill shit?
Because nobody do it like me. Like, my shit is crazy. Like, nobody do it like me. And everybody that's doing it now, like, they know where they got that shit from. Like, that different flow, that aggression, that energy. They know where it come from.
You.
From do, yeah, Buna.
How long you been in this game? How long you been working? How long has this been? How long you been doing music for?
Like, I've been loving music all my life, but we started going crazy like for a year and a half now. Yeah, we've been serious with it.
What was that change? Like, what kind of made you want to take that serious route, take that shit, you know,
Like,
to that next level?
I started coming around and people from see me in the deli, like, oh, that's Bankroll Buna. Like, can I get a picture? Like, once that started happening, that's when I really wanted to go to the top with it.
Do you feel, is that still a weird experience for you to go outside and people to recognize you based off the music, off the videos, all that?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Like, I be getting butterflies in my stomach. Like, you know, we do this drill shit, so you never know. It might be an album, or it might be a fan. So it caught me off guard. You know?
Hopefully, if it's like a little kid, it's just a fan.
It's just a fan.
It's just a fan.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hopefully. How
do you feel like about like the overall drill music culture and everything going on right now? Like, what is your kind of like take on everything? Because, you know, we got a lot of different types of sounds out. It's expanded beyond what we knew it to be a couple years ago into now with the Bronx and, you know, even people in like Staten Island, Harlem, Queens, all doing different things, the sample drill shit. Like, what is kind of your overall thoughts on where we are right now with it and in New York?
My overall thoughts is like, you know, I'm happy it's evolving and all of that, but all that sample drill shit, that all started from me. You feel me? Like, I started that shit. But I'm glad to see that shit going crazy though, because it's like, damn, I created a whole new lane for this drill shit.
Right.
For me.
And now we here.
Now we here.
I also heard you got a very interesting record on the way with Fivio and Bizzy.
Fivio and Bizzy, I got some crazy shit with them too. I got some crazy shit with Fivio on the way. Like, I got a couple shits in the chamber.
How did that record come about? I'm very interested to hear how you got how you, Fivio, and Bizzy all got on the same record together.
One day they was just in the studio in the city and shit. Fivio had just came home, so you know I've been reaching out to him and shit. He hit me. He told me to pull up to the stool. Bizzy happened to be there, and Fivio's like, "Yo, jump on this shit with us. Like, we gonna go crazy. Let's do it." And then that's what we did.
When are we getting it? You gotta be. I need you to send it to me. I promise I won't leak it.
I don't know. I gotta chop. I don't know if you can't be doing that right now. Like, I know you promise you won't leak it, but shit.
You could just play it for me here, and we could call a spade. We could just leave it like that. I just want to hear it because I feel like that the three of y'all on the record, you know, the way that you be rapping and your aggression and kind of like matches so well because they're so different too at the same time. Like I don't know. I feel like it's interesting taking an interesting record
like,
on it.
Like artwork, word, like wow. What's that artist's name? Back in the days, Picasso. It's like some
Picasso.
shit like that. Some Picasso shit. You know what I mean? Word. Because it's different flows and different different ways all of us created. So it was just like we just put a masterpiece together. You know what I mean? Word.
So when you were coming up, when you were growing up in New York, who were some people that you were really in tune with that kind of led you down this musical path that brought you here today?
Like what you mean?
Like who you kind of listened to growing up? Like who were some of your influences?
Like I used to listen to Biggie. My father used to listen to Tupac all the time. I used to listen to my dad, you know. And
your pops was a rapper.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, facts. Before he passed away and shit, so he was just hitting like on the radios, Hot 97. That was back in like 2000, shit like that. So it's like I've been like seeing that this shit could happen since
that it could work out.
A little kid.
When did the drill music first begin for you? Like when did you kind of get into it with that? Be like, all right, I'm gonna start making this shit.
I don't know. I just like every time I hit the booth, I always been on some drill angry shit in the studio. Like I feel like that's where I took my anger out at. So that's how that shit just happened. It wasn't. I ain't start just doing it just because everybody else was doing it. That's just really. I guess it's just like in the DNA. I don't know.
It was really in your like the pain and what you were feeling.
And shit I was going through.
It's interesting because it's funny watching people like do like the comparisons between like drill and then you know like punk rock and like all these other musical forms that people use to kind of like get out their aggression and their feelings. How do you feel about like those type of comparisons?
I mean, it's different. Like I really don't listen to punk rock and all of that, but
it's funny to see the comparisons from like the hip hop to the rock and like the aggression and how people are the delivery and shit.
Yeah, it's like it's the same energy. I say that like it's similar energy, but they get it out in a different way, I guess, you know? Or they pain is a little bit different. I don't know. They go through the same shit in a different way, I guess. I don't know. Or it's just the music is just different to me though.
So after this project, what's next? Because you said that this was part one. So what's kind of on the way after this? Like, what are we kind of getting into? What's your plan in the grand scheme of things now that we've been in this game series for a year and a half and we got some more music out to the people?
It's gonna be with like whatever the fans really want. Like, we got a lot more projects coming because basically the fans want more music, more visuals. So we got a lot. We just gonna keep coming.
That's why I be telling people, I'm like, you gotta stay consistent. Like the last artist who was here, I think he dropped like 4 projects this year, and like I'm just like, yo, drop, because like that's what the people really want to see. They want to hear your music.
Yeah, people's attention span just like short, so you gotta just keep them. For me, keep them active, keep them, for me, excited, keep feeding them shit, feeding them. People never gonna get full, so it's like to do this shit, you gotta be talented, or you gonna go up and then you gonna go right down.
What do you feel like part 2 is gonna? What's the vibe of part 2? What do you think is gonna come different on that side than we did on part 1?
The difference is probably gonna be like more party shit.
Okay,
like
more stuff you'll hear in the club.
More shit for the clubs, you know, for the females and shit like that. That's what's gonna be next, and I can't wait for that shit.
Now, is it going to be also be called like chopped cheese, or is it going to call something? I don't even think I asked you why you decided to call this chopped cheese.
Because chopped cheese, that's like New York, you know. And a lot of people don't really know. Like, you gotta really be from here to know what's a chopped cheese. You ain't gonna go nowhere else and figure and they gonna know what that is, you know. So that's like one of the famous hood meals and shit. So that's why I called it that.
I was trying to explain to a British guy here the other week what a chopped cheese was. It was a pretty fun experience. I'm not gonna lie. He's a British UK drill rapper.
He didn't know what it was.
He had no fucking idea. He looked at me like I was a psychopath. And I said, and he's like, what are you supposed to drink with that? And I was like, in Arizona. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yes.
He thought you was playing with
He thought I was crazy. He's like, where can I get one of those? I was like, down the block. I'm like dead ass down the block. I'm like, go in there, go to the Ak, order. He's like, what's an Ak? And I was like, oh God.
I'm like, lost in the sauce. He from a different planet.
Nah, it'd be funny when you leave New York and like I was in Houston last weekend and then it's just like you see like the differences and shit like that. It'd be funny. It'd be funny seeing like those different cultural differences and what people out there know about us and what they don't know about us too at the same time.
Funny but exciting because it's like different.
Because then you get to put people on to the culture and be like, yo, this is what a chopped cheese is. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, if you walk in there and you don't see the proper people behind the counter, you don't get the chopped cheese from there. If you see the chopped cheese more than a couple dollars, you got to walk out of the store. Very simple rules that you got to follow when you're in New York.
Exactly. Chopped cheese.
Chopped cheese. So you really just wanted the project to be entirely like just, yo, this is New York. This is what New York sound like. I'm the king of drill, whatever, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
And I think you accomplished that. And I'm excited for what you're going to do next, especially being a year and a half in the game and seeing what you were able to do this summer and even coming across my radar. I think that that's super dope. And I congratulate you on all the success you've achieved so far with this project and everything else. Before we sign off here for the day, so what else do the people got to be on the lookout for? Part 2 is on the way. Visuals are on the way. Anything else?
Visuals... shit, like like more music, basically. You know, I'm gonna drop more singles and shit. So, part 2 on the way, and then we probably work on another album, another whole tape. You know
okay. Okay.
So we got a lot of shit. They gonna be hyped. I'm about to make them go crazy.
Well, look, I appreciate you being here. I'm excited for the people to really get to sit with this project. I'm excited for part 2. I'm excited for everything you got going on. You got a fan in me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been tapped in since the summertime, so I'm happy we finally got to make this happen. Let the people know where they can follow you. Anything else that they got to know that you want to throw in there? Now's the time to do it. That camera right there.
Hey, yo, follow me on Instagram, Bankroll Buna, Bankroll_Buna. On YouTube, Bankroll Buna. Subscribe. You feel me? Follow right or wrong. You know, follow the team, G-Way. You already know what's going on. Through crew. It's okay, man.
There you go, man. And remember, Buna, not Buna, Buna.
Bankroll Buna.
Bankroll Buna on the radar, baby. My guy, appreciate you, bro.